What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. And once again, we're here on 910 Sports TV. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity because without him, there'd be no us. Next, I want to introduce my right hand man to the right of me. You know what I mean? Mr. East Coast up and down. He traveled more than Barack Obama, Delta, and Southwest put together. You know what I'm saying? My brother, Coach Goins in the building. What's going on, brother?
Hey man, it's another Saturday night in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Just happy to be on with our special guest and Icon and just bring it down. Again, I'm gonna steal Jacob's line. It's just another great day to be amongst the land of the living.
Yeah, because we all missing one of our partners tonight. He had a prior engagement, Jacob the Great. So shout out to him and safe travels and whatever he got going on this weekend, whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and get this interview started.
All right, man. So listen, it gives us great pleasure to have the one and only Mr. Donald Williams on. And listen, we always call him DW back in the day. That was our code name to him. So let me just read down a little bit of these some of these awesome stats. For those of you that don't know, of course, let me see so you can see my Carolina symbol there. So in there, he played for the University of North Carolina. Of course, was recruited by none other than the legendary coach Dean Smith. And some of you might know, but some of you will know, in 1993, he was a key component of the Carolina Tar Heels winning the national championship. And what I mean by that, down the stretch, he made those key free throws. That's right, I said it, key free throws. And he dropped in 25 points to lead the North Carolina Tar Heels to the 1993 national championship game against Michigan Wolverines, where the Heels won 77-71 and came out victorious. And the key component of that, he was voted the most outstanding player in the Final Four in the 1993 NCAA National Championship. We welcome none other than Mr. Donald Williams.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it's and like I said, man, we're honored and definitely privileged that you carve out some time to be with us and shout out to none other than Mike Quick, who and again, if you cut him, DW, and if you don't mind me referring to you that way, if you cut Mike Quick, that joker gonna bleed Carolina Blues. So we appreciate him reaching out and contacting you, agree to jump on the show. So here's my very first question: what is going on in the world of Donald Williams?
Oh, the world of Donald Williams. I'm still teaching the game. I'm currently coaching at South Garner High School in Garner, North Carolina. Boys basketball varsity.
Oh wow! How about that, Icon? Man, Icon, you got any eligibility left?
I wish. I wish. My mind say yes, but this body say no.
I understand. I'll kick it to Icon E.
Well, I want to get it started like this, Donald. So basically, you was one of the players. Like you had a unique skill set back then because there wasn't a lot of players that was mid range and he could hit the three ball at a proficient level like you could. And I felt like you and probably Calabria on the team, y'all were key components when it came to being able to make those outside shots in key moments of games and throughout y'all career. So what as a kid, what kind of got you going that direction when it comes to your game?
As a kid, I don't know. I just thank my father. He just taught me how to just practice basketball. You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, I shot a lot by myself, just shooting basketball, whatever. And then as a kid, I played against my father and his friends. So I always grew up playing against older guys.
Okay, so by the time when you got to high school, when did you really know that you had a chance to go to play college basketball at a high level?
I really, really didn't think about playing college basketball because with me growing up, I didn't really have anybody around me that did it. You know what I'm saying? So I just depended on my father and just me just working hard, and I just loved the game. And I think credit to him, I always played against other older players. Like as a kid, like at 13, I was playing against grown men.
Mm.
So when I got to high school and middle school shit, that shit was easy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that happened. It was just credit to my father, and he knew I just grew up playing against grown men.
So we all know the stories or heard about the legendary Dean Smith. You like my dad even like he used to caddy for him back in North Carolina, back over at Pinehurst golf course. Whatever he used to caddy for him, Jordan Barkley every now and then. So when you got recruited by Dean, what was the thing that sold you on him as just him as a person for you to want to come to the school?
Um, I think it was more Phil Ford than Dean
Mm.
Smith. You know what I'm saying? Phil Ford was like, I didn't know. I just hooped and played basketball. But Phil Ford like started recruiting me like in 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So I just hooped, so I didn't know. You know what I mean? But my dad, he was a hooper and a baller or whatever, so he noticed it. You know what I'm saying? That like every like AAU game, whatever, Phil came to every one of my games, and he would always pass my father a note. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So that's where got it started. It's like I didn't even like North Carolina growing up. You know what I'm saying? But
Ooh,
like at 8th grade, like Phil was on me so hard. Like seriously, like 8th grade on, Phil Ford was like at every one of my games. So it was more him than Dean Smith or whatever. By the time I got to North Carolina, Dean Smith did a great job of teaching me the game and how to play the right way. But as far as a recruiting, that was all Phil Ford.
okay. Go ahead, coach.
Well, you know what? What a legend! You think about that icon. You sitting there, you lace your stuff up, you going through your layups, and you look over there and you see Coach Ford. Man, you be like, man, I got the ball out. Now let me ask you this right here, DW. So you in there, you get ready to run out. What tell the viewing audience what is it like running out of the tunnel, running out on that floor, and got on that Carolina blue? I mean, just what how does that feel? I mean, what's how electric is that when you're playing in front of 23,000 people?
My first time or as a freshman, I wasn't ready for that because I never seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like just amazing. So, and I think just like if you're a hooper or whatever, you're gonna ball out when you see that many people cheering for you. You know what I'm saying? It's motivation, and you don't want to let them down. So, man, it's so electric in the Smith Center, and people don't understand that because they don't understand Carolina basketball and their fans.
Mm. That's the fact. So here's where I want to go with that. So what is your opinion? And I know right now it's a whole lot of chin music about do they renovate the Dean Dome? Do they move? They move. Put it on the move it from where its current location. We're talking to the true Tar Heel tonight. What's running through your veins and give us your opinion on what they need to do with the Smith Center.
I don't really hear or want to hear much about it or whatever, but my opinion would be like keep it on campus. You know what I mean? It's just different when college basketball is on their campus where the kids can just walk to the arena or whatever. So when you move it off campus, it's like a different atmosphere. They still gonna come because they like Carolina basketball. But when you can when it's on campus, it's just a different feeling. It's just like moving a football field off campus. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the reason why they want to do that, but I know they're gonna do that. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like it should be like right on campus.
I agree. I had the opportunity to go down to Chapel Hill this year to see him play when Pitt rolled to town, and I tell you, even though I'm originally from North Carolina, but not a huge North Carolina fan growing up. I'm like you, but when you walk into the Dean Smithson, I mean that's a mecca of basketball, and you really appreciate, and you see the All American jerseys, you see the retired jerseys. And definitely, that Donna Williams jersey is hanging. I mean, think. So let me ask you this right here: how does that
But,
feel
but,
when
but,
you?
but saying that though, but people probably felt the same way when they moved from Carmichael to the Smith Center because Carmichael was like electric too. You know what I mean? And
Oh
we
yeah,
always did like one preseason game in a Carmichael. You know what I'm saying? Carmichael was electric too in a special place. So
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I remember I'll tell this real quick. I remember I was a senior in high school, Icon, when they were building the Smith Center, and the coaches clinic was still at Carmichael. And then in that, that's the day I was there when Jordan broke his wrist. I
Hmm.
was in that. I was in that practice, and Curtis Hunter undercut him. Oh, did I say that out public? Yeah, but that's what happened. Because we couldn't go in the gym until they started practice. And once they started practice, the players could come in, and we sat in. And Jordan goes to the baseline. He goes up. Next thing he comes down on the wrist, and they carted him off. But long story short, so listen. Here's
Hey,
where I want to
before you
go.
go,
Go ahead.
before you continue on, the one thing I wish they would have transferred over when they switched from Carmichael to Dean Smith was you remember on the sideline where they used to have the card when they used to flip the cards right there by
Flip
the
the
audience.
scoreboard.
Yeah,
The flip
like the
scoreboard.
scoreboard on
Yeah,
the
that
Absolutely.
floor.
was yeah.
I wish they would have kept doing that because
Yeah,
that
that
made
was
us
special.
unique.
Nobody done that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
special.
that
They
that
should
was
have
that
done
was
that though. Why wouldn't they do that? They should have done that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was tight. You're right, because you wouldn't watch, you wouldn't look at it on the TV. You look over in the corner, you be like, all
Right,
right, big
always.
deal.
Yeah, they should always do that shit. And I'm
That's a
like,
great look.
and I do high school coaching and teach PE in high school, whatever. And I every time I see those, I was like, that, you know what I mean? It was like special. Nobody done that.
No,
Nobody.
that's definitely and then and I kind you bring up a good point. How think about how special it would be if they went back and played the Duke Carolina game in Carmichael. Can you? I mean that ticket would
It
be
is,
like
it
a
is, it is
gazillion
just,
dollars, but
it'd just be like playing them fucking where they play at.
Cameron, yeah,
Cameron.
that the
Yeah,
yeah
it'll be
Yeah.
like
the rat trap, right? That's
same.
a
Yeah,
those
it's the
that
same
joke is
atmosphere.
that if I tell
It was
anybody,
the
I've been
same
in.
atmosphere because we like and the Carmichael is like Cameron.
Oh,
You
it
know
is
what I'm
like
Mhm.
saying?
I tell anybody that's probably the worst bathroom, men's bathroom I've ever been in my entire life. I mean, you go, they don't have urinals. It's just a long trough, and they
But
got ice poured
but
down
there
there.
was the ACC back then, like Reynolds Coliseum. That shit was
Mhm.
small and tough. Little Johns, all those like small gyms, like that was college basketball. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
yeah. You're
Yeah, and I
exactly
think the
right.
stadium would be louder if you played the Carolina Duke game in Carmichael. I know it's more people in the Dean Dome, but if it's more compact in the car and you fill up Carmichael, man, you know how loud it'll be in them games.
I know we played preseason games there. I was like, damn, I wish I could play here.
Yeah, that yeah that is, and again, that's what makes that so special. And just hope they can kind of come to their senses and leave that thing where it needs to be. I mean, the money, it's not about the money. If they want to renovate the Dean and do what they need to do, they could do that. But it's a beautiful building. Every time I remember, I'll say this and we'll move on. I was standing there at the baseline watching my cousin's team warm up, and I'm looking up in the rafters, and this elderly usher, she comes up and she said, "Excuse me, sir," and I said, "Yes." She said, "I see you staring," and she said, "Isn't it beautiful?" And I had to laugh. I said, "Yeah, it is a beautiful place to see." So, Connie, I'll kick it to you, man. I see you got your feet behind the
But
3 point
but
line.
now it's about them press boxes. You got them
That
press boxes now.
Yeah.
You got to have
about
them
them
press
dollars, them
boxes.
boosters, them boosters
Yeah,
want to see it.
yeah, up there.
What you
That
got,
would
E?
be up there.
Yeah, so Antonio Ray 265 said my uncle said they should have never left Carmichael. He said it was the best atmosphere in the 80s. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we definitely agree. But I want to ask you this, Donald. So what is it? I know the Duke Carolina games, they differ from any other game you play. I don't care if it's Maryland State, Wake Forest, Virginia. What makes the game so special? Because I remember when y'all played, because I know you was on the team when Eric Montross got busted up that one game, right? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So what made that game so different? Other than I know the 8 Mile thing and all that, but just the intensity on the floor and how physical and all that is when you watching.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even explain it because when I first got to Carolina, I didn't even know it was like that to my freshman year, and we played them. You know, what I mean, even the players, the coaches, they never talked about Duke. You know what I'm saying? So then that week we had to play them. I'm talking about me as a freshman. That's when I realized, damn, this shit is different. You know what I'm saying? This is different when we play Duke. So we don't ever talk about like as a freshman coming in. I never knew it was a rival or it was like that until that week, my freshman year, the week we had to play them. Then I knew like shit, this shit is like different.
So what's the difference between the week of when the fans and the other students coming, talking to y'all or getting in y'all head when y'all win versus like when y'all lose? What's the difference in that atmosphere?
Well, well, North Carolina, you better not ever lose. So and you definitely about to lose to Duke and State. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like that week of like I'm speaking of my freshman year when I have no idea what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that week we had to play Duke. It was like different. You know what I'm saying? After my freshman year, I knew like, okay, whatever. But going to my freshman year, I was blind to it. So I have no idea, you know what I'm saying? Because Coach Smith was different. We took every practice and game one by one at a time. But
Mm.
when it came to Duke, like the seriousness and the focus, the detail, everything was more serious. You know what I'm saying? So it was just special about that. And in my freshman year, we split with them, so we lost to them at Duke. Then we beat them at Carolina, whatever, and all the students ran on the court. I'm a friend, like, God, oh, this is what it is. Like we won a national championship. We beat Duke my freshman year in the Dean Dome. We beat them. We celebrated. Everybody ran on the court, and everybody met on Franklin Street. So that shit is it's like a national championship, really. And the same shit was the same when we won the national championship. So when we play Duke, it's like a fucking national championship.
So let me ask you this: what was it? What was it like? What was Coach K like? Like by the time you got to your senior year, what playing against him and his teams? Because everybody considered him the GOAT, or at least in that Mount Rushmore. What was it like playing and and Dean having to coach against Coach K?
It won't shit because he wanted to go at that time. Dean Smith was
Mm.
the go at that time. You know what I'm saying? We didn't give a fuck about no Coach K. Dean Smith was the go at that time. So we didn't worry about him. He couldn't beat us. He
Okay,
wasn't no better coach than Coach Smith.
okay, got you. Go ahead, Coach.
But you know what? That's a great that's a great analogy from an inside scoop because you
And,
think about
and
before.
it's just the story. You know what I'm saying? Like the Duke shit that's going on, like what they call themselves, the Duke, the graduates
The brotherhood.
brotherhood, right? So when Coach Smith passed away or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, all man, Coach Smith, all us can't showed up for that funeral. Every one of Coach Smith players showed up at that funeral. You know what I'm saying? So and one but so many coaches there. That's why I respect Coach K. He was there at Coach funeral. Coach K, John Thompson, maybe Dave Oldham, maybe a couple of people that I missed, but it wasn't too many. You know what I'm saying? But
Wow.
when Coach, I saw him and I respect that shit. He was back there, whatever. But what you think when he showed? I didn't hear no brotherhood shit about Duke basketball before that. But when he showed up and seeing that we showed out, that man Coach Smith was so special. So after that, that's when I started hearing that brotherhood shit with Duke coming along. You know what I'm saying? No hate or disrespect, but I think it's a beautiful thing. But we started that shit because of Coach Smith. But I respect Coach K. I think he's a great coach and what he did or whatever. But don't get it twisted. Coach Smith is the pioneer for a lot of shit.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. And again, I know both for Eddie and Iconi and I, we're from the same hometown, and growing up in the times that we did, so many like my uncles and aunts, everybody was a Carolina fan because of Coach Smith bringing Charlie Scott in the Chapel Hill. I mean, he was the first one to integrate at ACC. And you think about that, and then be able to think about what goes through Charlie Scott's mind walking in, and he's the first black player in the ACC, and to be able to, and Coach Smith having that foresight and being a forerunner to be able to do that, and that's the thing, just to, yeah, just
And
a
not only
fantastic.
that, but for him and his parents to trust him to
Absolutely.
to make
Absolutely.
that step.
That's exactly right. I mean, you think about it, you're exactly right. You're gonna take your kid and you're gonna turn them loose to somebody that just comes in the living room and sits down and go, "Hey, this is what we want to be able to do." And then I think the loyalty, because again, and growing up in North Carolina, man, you around Southern Pines, you walk up and you talk about Duke, they may run you out of the Pines, right? It was always Carolina, just because of the things there. So here's where I want to go, Donald. So how much, now that you're coaching, and appreciate you wearing your gear tonight, representing the squad. How much when you're on the court and you're instructing, how much do you hear, your former coaches in your head and say, "Hey, do it this way, do it that way." How does that bleed over to what your craft is today?
Uh, That's why I do it. You know what I'm saying? For not only Coach Smith, all my coaches, I got something that I teach these kids from all my coaches that I learned. You know what I mean? Just like all coaches. You know what I'm saying? So credit to all of them. So when I'm teaching and coaching, I always think about my former coaches and how they taught the game. Because that's what it's all about, teaching the game.
Absolutely. So how hard is it when you get in there and say somebody take a shot and let me show, do you say, "Give me the ball, let me show how you knock that shot down"? Does that do you get it? Do you get in that feel, or you get in that rhythm, or you get in there and get your shots up, or how do you handle that when it may come easy to you and the player may be struggling? What do you how let us in that playbook if you don't mind.
It just depends about your role and your personnel. Like if you can't shoot, you're not gonna be shooting that shot. You know what I'm saying? I want my shooters taking that shot before you. You know what I'm saying? So it's about like um, giving out. That's the hardest part about coaching, getting these kids to accept their role. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Today, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to shoot, but you're not be a better shooter than this guy. So I might want this guy shooting this shot from that distance. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Yes, sir.
that's the thing with it with today's coaching is about getting these kids to accept their role about what they can and cannot do on the court.
That's crucial. Here you go. I want to ask this question before I kick it back to the icon. How is the star power? Tell us about when you walk in the gym first day, people trying out, people hear that you the head coach, and they walk in and they like, "Oh my God, there he is!" Because like when I coach, I coach, but I couldn't score 20 points in the closet by myself with the light on at the hoop at 6 foot. But you being a legendary player, you are a national championship playing at one of the top schools ever in the country. How hard is it for the kids to kind of relax and just say, "Man, that's Coach Williams, and I'm not out here trying to, go above board."
Well, they probably don't know until their parents tell them and they Google me.
Mm,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? They wouldn't know. I be like, a lot of these kids, like when I first started coaching kids, especially right now, whatever, they wouldn't know who I am. You know what? These kids today, they don't really know the history of basketball or follow the history of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So if they're gonna know about me or whatever, it's gonna be from their parents, or they're gonna have to Google me and then find out. And then when they do that, then their attention span is more locked in.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, Connie, man, I see you ready for you. What jersey you got on tonight? You ain't got no
Oh, I
jersey
ain't
on?
got a jersey on tonight. I
What?
know the one time, yeah, I've been rolling
What?
all weekend on
Man,
my
I'm
job,
man.
so I ain't had a chance to change clothes and that. It's
They
been
ain't representing
go
tonight,
go
did
go.
it?
No, he ain't representing. I'm gonna have to go
No,
put some snow
I ain't been
chains
home.
on
I ain't
the.
been home when we set this interview. I wasn't home to get my
I,
gear and all that. So I'm way out
I,
here in Texas. You know, I'm out
I,
here in Colorado. I
I'm
ain't
I'm
even
I'm
to
th-
get to
I'm
the
thinking
crib.
there's an imposter on the show tonight. I'm like
No,
looking for a
no, no.
jersey
And
on,
I
and I'm
thought
like, I
about it
ain't
too
know.
right before we started. I said, dang, man, I ain't got my jerseys with me and nothing. Like, man,
Slipping, man,
I'm
slipping. You
mad. I
slipping.
know I'm slipping, bro. I'm
They
slipping.
got
I
some medication for that
apologize.
stuff.
Looking
I
like a dookie.
apologize.
Looking like a dookie.
No, whoa, whoa, whoa. Boy, please don't do that to me, Donald. Don't do that to me. Woo, make my skin itch. Woo. Oh, man. But anyway, shoot, he almost made me lose my train of thought.
No,
But
he did. He did. He called you out. He got I did. He called you out.
so but anyway, so let's get into the whole Michigan game. And because we everybody thought the first 2 years we knew Michigan was going to at least win one title. And I watched the documentary. Matter of fact, about a month ago on the Carolina '93 team. And yeah, I mean, even the semifinal game, y'all got down by a lot, and they had to come back. And then early on in the championship game, I think I was down by 10. And then early on, and then had to regroup and get back in the game. So what was the mindset and the plan? Did y'all feel like y'all could truly beat them, or was it something that coach had to really coach y'all up when it came to that game?
No, we knew we can beat anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just basketball, and he prepared us so well, so we knew we can beat anybody. But we played them early in the season, like in December in Hawaii, and they beat us like at the buzzer. Jalen Rose got like a tip in at the buzzer. I like hit a jump shot to put us up one, and then they came down and Jalen Rose hit like a follow up tip in at the buzzer. So we knew that shit was luck. You know what I'm saying? We knew we should have won that game, whatever. So I mean, cause like outside of me, that class before me, I was the only freshman, my freshman class. But that Derek Phelps, Brian Reeves, Montrose, that class, that was like the Michigan Fab Five. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So that shit was really like the battle of the classes. Really, I was just the middle guy in between. I was the
Yeah.
only freshman my freshman year. So we that they was juniors at the time. They were sophomores, but that our junior class they forgot about. Their class was like special. All of us was McDonald's All Americans too. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So the Michigan crew, they was All Americans or whatever. But I think they just forgot about our junior class because they was special too. And I felt like it was just the class of those classes or whatever. And I was in the Fab Five class. All of us was McDonald's All Americans together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
were together, whatever. So that's what
Wow.
made it so special to me. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to beat them bad as hell anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they were thinking. You know what I'm saying? Leaving me open. You know what I'm saying? So they should have known better.
No,
Is
that's right.
that-
Hey, you know what's funny? You know what's funny when you was talking about your kids, or these kids today not really doing their homework on past
Mm,
players. It's funny because this generation, a lot of them don't think Michael Jordan was as good as people think or say. You know what I mean? My son will tell me that he'll be like, people my age don't really think Michael Jordan the GOAT. They think he good, but he ain't that great. Like, man, y'all make him out to be. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah. The only difference is that, like our generation, we grew up watching full games. We didn't
mm-hmm.
watch highlights. We watched a game. We watched a whole damn. You know what I'm saying? These kids
Mhm.
watching highlights.
Yeah.
So they don't really know how good he was. You know what I mean? How he controlled the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they
Mhm.
watch highlights. You gotta watch a whole game and see how these great players control the whole game.
Wow,
So let
that's
me
amazing.
ask you a question about that since we talk about him. I know it's always been stories about he would come every year, like doing like practices and stuff and work out with the team. Did he ever come and work out with y'all when you was there? And if he did, how
Yeah,
was it?
yeah. The year he retired, the year he came back. So we knew he was coming back because he started coming back and practicing with us. That year he retired and then came back. That year we joined the Bulls. We knew because he was already practicing with us before he came back or whatever. So we got a chance to practice with him, whatever. And a couple of us got to play him 1-on-1 or whatever just to prepare him to come back.
Okay, was he out there talking junk?
He Michael Jordan. That's what he do. And he can do it.
I know that's right.
And he was special. I mean, like, and Coach Smith know how special he was. So when he came, whatever, we had like might be my senior year. So we went but 7 deep anyway. So we had our squad, and he put Mike with all the walk-ons.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker hit a three at the buzzer to win it and ran out the tunnel. That's all like, man, come on, man.
Hey, well, at least they ain't as bad as Magic. They were like, when the people say you play Magic, when it be game point, Magic keep calling a
He
foul.
can
You
he
know what
can
I
do
mean?
that because we was scrimmaging, so it was a clock.
Ah,
So this
Oh,
motherfucker
okay.
he hit it at the buzzer.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
They were down two. This motherfucker hit a three at the buzzer and ran out the tunnel. And we had me, Stat, Shea, McGinnis, Calais, and he had all
Wow.
walk ons.
Oh,
But
wow.
the story of that, like, that's when you can tell greatness, like, he can make other motherfuckers around him better. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
walk ons. And they beat
Yeah,
us. He beat us with motherfucking Stat, Sheen, and McGinnis.
yeah. Yeah,
Ain't
that's
lying.
crazy. That's crazy. So, uh,
That's tight, right? That ass rare right there.
yeah. So let's get into your overseas career a little bit. So, what was the biggest adjustment when you went overseas and played ball over there?
At that time, it was like, first when I went over there, it was I was just like so mad I wasn't here playing because I thought I should be here playing. So it was like kind of easy for me because I was over there busting their ass. I was leading the countries and scoring and doing whatever I could to try to get back over here.
Uh, did you ever win a championship over there? Any kind of championship, anything like that, or
Yeah, yeah,
awards?
yeah. I won two championships over there, but it was like, but when I was over there, the Europeans, the like the really good Europeans, they were like younger. You know what I mean? So they really couldn't fuck with me. Like Tony Parker were like 18, Dirt and Whiskey were like 18. You know, I'm like 22 at this time. You know what I'm saying? But they was young, but they were like so talented and good. So
Okay.
when they made it to the league, I wasn't surprised. Like
Yeah, yeah,
boys
yeah.
be out, all you know what I'm saying? So they was just younger. So I wasn't surprised that they made it over here.
I always used to make the joke about Boris Diaw. I don't know how he made the NBA because he had the worst NBA body I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but he was just good at he was just good at everything.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he
You know what I'm saying? He could
was.
handle the ball, he could pass, he could score a little bit, play defense. And one thing about the NBA, if you got that size, he was like 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why like everybody be talking about my career. Like I think that's what hurt me at my position. I want a 6'2", 6'2" and a half, 6'3" on the
Um,
wing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
so you probably was looking at stuff like, hell, I was doing that before he was.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
the game changed. You know what I'm saying? So when I was coming up, whatever, and then it just had, you know what I'm saying. But that's what Coach Smith was telling me. But you know what I'm saying. But my career, he wanted me to. Coach Smith really wanted to make me a point guard because he know the game because of my size. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever.
Yep.
But and it's just everywhere I went, I shot the ball so good. They just wanted me on the wing.
Gotcha,
Cause
gotcha.
they cause they cause they smart.
Go ahead, coach.
No, I mean, hey, you walk in there and be like, you know what? That man, because I'm telling you, Donald, we be watching the game and you let that thing fly, boy. They say DW, baby. You know what? He on fire. Feed him the ball, man. And that's the thing. That's what I was so excited about when we was able to have you on, and it was just like, man, that's it. And then again, unfortunately, like you said, both of you guys have said that the young folks don't stop and go back and learn the history of the game and know the players and know the people that really impacted it, made you really fall in love with the game, and it's just a great game. So here's where I want to go. What is your opinion in the state of college basketball now, NIL, and you shooting the ball the way you shot the ball when you was in Chapel Hill? How many folks? How you probably even have enough charge on your cell phone at the end of the season. Everybody calling you saying, "Hey man, we're gonna offer you." What's your whole opinion about the NIL and how much you think you would be on the hook and all that good stuff back in the day if it was alive and well then?
I couldn't even imagine because after we won the national championship, I had schools calling me,
Mm,
trying to get me as a sophomore. They trying to get me in. I don't know if they were still just messing around, but like as you go through the summer and meeting coaches and seeing coaches, or whatever, everybody was like talking to me about transferring to that school. So I can't even imagine about if it was NIL then.
Oh, I couldn't. I'm tell
Because
you
when we
what,
won the
man.
national championship, that was my sophomore year.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That phone. He wouldn't have. He would. He would. He wouldn't have been able to get dressed in the locker room. Them jokers would have been calling him right now. So
And
Oh
then the
we
yeah.
gonna
summer,
get. We're gonna give you
and then
2 million.
that summer it was USA basketball for the World University Games. So I played with that. So their whole coaching staff was college coaches. So they were putting their bid in like they was joking, but it was serious just to see where I was. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can imagine, man. Because I tell you what, it was always a pleasure to watch you handle that thing. And when they kicked it to you and you let that thing fly, and you just can knock it down. I mean, every people say people say, oh man, they can shoot or they can play. There's people that can play and there's people that can score. You were definitely one of the ones that could just flat out put that thing through the net, and it was always a pleasure to make you to watch you do the things that you did. And again, just a great career, and it's just a pleasure just to be able to sit back and an honor, as we sit here and chop it up with you. So I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
One thing about Carolina
he ain't got
basketball,
his jersey on. I know he got another question.
one thing about Carolina basketball, boy, I played with some great point guards. Them motherfuckers knew how
Yeah.
to find me.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
With
Yeah.
right?
Phelps and McGinnis, oh my God, they
Yeah.
knew how to find me and they was looking for me. So you know what I'm saying, it made my job easier. You know what I'm saying? It
Yes.
wasn't just me. They were my point guards was looking for me.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
because you made them look good too when you knocked it down, right? You was helping
Yeah.
that assist to
Yeah.
turnover ratio.
Yeah, because the thing about it, when we always talk about top five Tar Heels, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying it because he on here. Donald Williams always was in my top five because I remember, because you remember those moments, those clutch moments, like people, like I look at like a Hansborough, I just how hard he played. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think no Tar Heel played as hard as Hansborough. You know what I mean? So that I appreciated that. Donald Williams being clutch in the tournament, winning that national championship. You know what I'm saying? So so I look at those type of players, those big moments that players had, throughout the years, because I've been a fan since like 83, 84. You know what I mean? So since
It's just
yeah,
funny, man, because they gave me that nickname, Clutch. You know what I'm saying? They gave me the nickname Clutch, and even like doing the NBA shit, like NBA GMs were like, man, if it was like the last 5 minutes of a game, you'll be number one.
you
So
you ever had a shoot off
I had that
with like a
repetition
Wayne
about,
Ellington?
huh?
You ever had like a shoot off with like Wayne Ellington? Because I think he was probably I'd say he was
Yeah,
probably right
Wayne don't
behind you,
come
him and
back.
Shamar.
Wayne probably one of the seldom players that come back. I don't see him much. Wayne don't come back much.
Oh, really? What about Shaman? Because Shaman he was nice with it too.
Yeah, but he was a freshman when I was there, so Samon come fuck with me. I'm motivated. I'm motivated. I think like when I left Carolina, I probably had like the most 3-point made in career, whatever. Then when I left, Shimon broke that. So
Uh-huh.
Shimon watched me. Shimon watched me, but while I was there, Shimon couldn't fuck with me.
Oh, all right. So let me ask you this question. The big talk right now is Caleb Wilson. You know what I'm saying? What have you been around him and seen him play or practice and talk to him at all? What's your opinion on Caleb Wilson?
Uh, no, I haven't. But just watching him or whatever, he looks like he's a Carolina player. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been waiting on. You know what I'm saying? He's just the typical Carolina 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? Athletic and his skill set or what he did. And it was just good to see a player come back to the program like that because shit, that's what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think he'll have a chance to dominate and be one of them ones in the NBA?
I think he got the potential to, you know what I'm saying? But, depending on his health, he can stay healthy and how he develop.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
You gotta develop. He's still young, so you gotta develop.
Yeah, of
Especially when you're
course, of
playing
course.
against grown men. They're not gonna let you just go out there and do that shit.
So you saying G League a little fluky.
Yeah,
That's exactly right, man.
they more your age.
Yeah, cool. What you got, Coach?
Hey, so here's why I'll end my question one later. So, let us in on a little bit of your excitement as you get ready to take the floor with the Titans, and tell us a little bit about some of your players that you're currently working with.
Oh, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love the grassroots of the teaching of the game, and I really think that's what American basketball is missing. You know what I'm saying? So I think I learned from the best. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to pass it along and teach the game the right way. And I like where I'm at, where I'm are, because I think I got a lot of young, good talent. So that's what I'm focused on, the young talent and developing them. And I think it's bright because they're eager to learn and they're talented. You know, you can have talent, but you got to work on that skill set, man. You got to work on that skill set and be fundamental to play and be prepared to play in any kind of system. And I think all going through North Carolina, especially with Coach Smith and Coach Williams, we're taught to play the right way so we can fit in any kind of system wherever we play.
Excellent, excellent. So, just on behalf of myself, I just want to thank you so much and congratulations again on the national championship that you brought back to the great state of North Carolina, and much success with your current squad. And we'll definitely we're North Carolina guys, man. So if we down that way, don't be surprised. And Garner is not far from where we grew up, and we'll give them $10 and roll up in there and see what kind of product you got out on the floor. So let me kick it over to my man that don't have his jersey on tonight. I mean, I kick it over to Icon E.
Oh man, y'all making me feel real bad. But everybody subscribe to our page, man. YouTube page 910 SNE. Check out us on Roku 810 Studios on the Roku channel, and DJsUnitedRadio.com or whatever. So, but I appreciate you coming on tonight, brother. Really, I really do. And I say this to all coaches when they come on here. If you got your players, any of your players or coaching staff, athletic directors, whenever that want to come on the show and give us the expertise and come on and interview with us, we always welcome. If you got a camp or something that we can get to, or anything that you want to throw out there, promote, let us know. Anything you got going on, food drive, I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? You can reach out to Mike, reach out to me. You got my number now. You can reach out to me and say, here, Icon, we got this going on, blah, blah, blah. This, or whatever. We all this is what this platform is for. The platform, like I told you when I talked to you, is for the high school kids, the college kids. We'll interview the pros, but it's for the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? It's for the youth. It's for the building up the people, and especially when we get the young people and they get a first time to get a chance to interview and get that, be able to get that experience. So when they get in front of the ESPNs and the FS1s or whoever, they kind of know how to articulate themselves.
Absolutely,
So
Right.
that's what it's all about.
That's
So
what it's
I
all
don't
about.
know if there's anything you want to say to end it all, you know what I mean, before we get out of here.
I think that's great what you just said, and that's what we all need to do, especially with the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's what we're missing. The
mm-hmm.
teaching part of it.
mm.
A lot of kids that want to do it or whatever, but we don't know what kind of teaching they're getting. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't one thing I want to say, whatever, especially with the grassroots and the young kids. It's not about just letting them play.
Mm, mm.
It's about
Mhm.
teaching them the game so they can play the right way if they want to make it on a high level.
That's
Yes,
exactly
sir.
right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like
Well
I
said.
said,
Well
I,
said.
I appreciate you coming on. You just don't know how much it meant to us.
Yes.
You the first. We've been doing this for 7 years, and you officially our first Tar Heel. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to be able to interview and to be able to chop it up with you and see how humble you are. You kept it real and kept an appointment with us and stood on your word. So I appreciate that.
Appreciate appreciate y'all for having me, and
Yes,
I love
sir.
what y'all doing. Keep doing it because that's what the kids need, especially the sport of basketball. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? especially with the old school, because the new generation, whatever, don't know the history. I don't know if they want to know the history, but they need to know the history. And just the right way to play the basketball, play the game, man, because I think all Americans are just tired of watching the Europeans dominate this game right now because we know it's our game. But we
Yes,
got to
sir.
keep it the right way and get these kids prepared.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we out of
Hey,
here. God bless y'all. Y'all have a
all right,
wonderful week and good luck in your season, Coach.
all
All right,
right. Take care,
appreciate y'all.
guys. Out of
Thanks
here.
for having me.
All right. Yes,
All
sir.
right, thanks. All right.